could take. This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube, and today I have a returning guest, but since the last time I've had him on, he's now a big Netflix star on Investigation Alien. He's featured on the Brazil episode with George Knapp. He is the national director of the Mutual UFO Network in Brazil. He is the leading UFO researcher in Brazil with decades of experience and multiple books, including many books on cases specific to Brazil. Thiago Ticchetti, how are you doing today, sir?
Hello, Devon. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here again with a lot of news stuff.
Yeah, and I guess there was news that happened today. I don't know if you saw it for here in the U.S. Anna Paulina Luna, one of the congresswomen who's going to be in charge of this declassification of UAPs. Basically, well, I'll let you say. What did you think of what she had to say?
Well, I think that we have to wait to to see what's going to happen because promises. We have a lot of promises here in Brazil also, and they never get through. Um, so I think that I think she really wants seek the truth, but it's not up to her. You know, there's a lot of thing behind all that curtains that for 10, 50, 45, for decades, they are hiding something. And I don't think this is going to be very easy to disclosure all the information. And she said that not only about UAPs, but she told about the JFK, about the September 11th, about Robert Kennedy as well. So it's a lot of stuffs and a lot of important things in USA and of course in the whole world.
Yeah, she also said Martin Luther King
Yeah,
and COVID as well. But I think as important as JFK is to certain people, I think like the topic that people care about the most worldwide is probably the UAP topic. As far as a guy like me from Canada and you from Brazil, you probably care about that more than, for instance, the 9/11 stuff, although you're probably somewhat interested in that.
yeah, and there's a problem that what happened in USA in November and December 2024. Drones or UFOs, drufos, as we call here in Brazil, or UAP or UFOs. We don't know what they are. Uh, Biden, the Biden administration said that there's no menace, is not a risk for national security. But wait a minute, is if something is in your sky, and the Pentagon said, well, it's not ours, something not sky that's unknown, is not your stuff, it's not your your drone. What is it? It's not a risk. So anyone can go in a US skies and do whatever they want to do, and that it's okay, it's fine. So I think that this problem that happened in November and December last year increased this crisis, because I think it's a crisis. And Donald Trump said during the campaign for the presidential, he said, "Oh, I know the Biden know the truth, and I'm gonna give you the truth." Well, now he's the president, and what he said that well, the FAA knew about everything, and they authorized it. So, but okay, knew about everything, but what was that? We still don't have the answer. So it's complicated. It's complicated, and everything that happened there in the United States, we know here in Brazil, we don't have a UFO drones in our skies. But if it happened to USA, why not happen in Brazil?
Yeah, and it was happening over USA bases in the UK and some other countries as well.
German in German as well.
Germany, yeah. What do you know about that? And would you say that would have been FAA approved?
Well, if the FAA approved it, they then didn't tell to the military, because even the UK military, the UK forces, and the German militaries. So what was that? It was a test. It's like a social test, social something like that. We don't know. We don't know. I think we have much more answers uh, to we have much more questions than answers. And I think now with this group, the task group, they're going to create an a Congress of the United States. They're going to create groups to investigate, to give light over this secrets. But I think that's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy, because there are people there that are hiding these secrets for so many years, and they will not simply let it go. They're gonna hold it as longer they as they can.
She seemed to indicate she'd kind of be satisfied with the disclosure if it was disclosing we are not alone and showing some documents to back that up. Could you see something as basic as that happening, or will there be too much backlash?
Oh, I think when they start to disclosure some documents, they're gonna see that there's a lot of more documents and information, and it's like a line. You get in the line, and you're pull, pushing the line or pulling the line. You cannot stop. For example, they find UFO footage. Okay, and but wait a minute. In this video, in this footage, in this film, there's an information there's a better film, a better movie, a better footage. Let's see it. So it's like a wave of consequences. They start a tip of the iceberg, but you have the bottom of the iceberg. It's always bigger than the top.
Do you think it could partly be that whatever the non-human intelligence is, that they might not want to be disclosed as well? Because it's not just like USA is the only country that could disclose it. There's Brazil, there's tons of countries out there that could technically decide to release the information. Why are no countries doing it really?
Because I think that the United States has the most part of information. We can say that Russia, China, UK, I don't know, but the United States has the I think that the parts of the puzzle from a lot of countries like Brazil. Well, the United States has the Virginia craft, have the Virginia aliens or non-human being. So United States have a lot of information that they have been collected since the 40s, 30s, since the ever. So if United States start to release disclosure the information, I think that some countries could follow it and do the same. But in my opinion, the country that has the more information is United States.
For Russia and China, with them being communist countries, could you see them ever releasing that type of information, or will they always keep things pretty quiet because the public can't really demand it with those governments.
No, I think that China, if they have some information, and I think they do, they have, um, they will not spread it. They will try to do some uh, engineer, back engineer, to discover how that was built, how they can do something similar or the same, and do it without any uh, uh, information to the public, because they are communists, they are socialism country, so they don't have to share, they don't have the media, they don't have the free press, so they do what they want to do, they want to do in China, for example, and they don't need to give some satisfaction or information to the society. So if they are doing this, they're doing to use it, not to show the world that they have this information.
And how is the Brazil government? Because I did do an interview with James Fox, who I know you know did the movie about the Brazil UFO issue, and he was saying at one point he was starting to feel uncomfortable with the government, and he had to FedEx a bunch of his drives back to the U.S. because he felt like at one point they might just come and confiscate all of his equipment. What do you think about that story and how the government views UAP disclosure there?
Oh, I know James. He was here a couple of weeks ago, shooting a second part of the documentary, moment of impact, and the Brazil, we are not, we don't have like Men in Black, okay, like the United States has had like Men in Black, but if they start to, pinch the Brazilian military, they gonna pinch you back. They gonna react. So if he felt this, some kind of strange and danger energy here in Brazil regarding the military and the Brazilian government, is because they are in the right way. They're doing the right thing because they're bothering the militaries. So I think he was very clever to send all the files and stuff to United States before they lost it. And I think Brazil's is now paying more attention. The Brazilian press is paying more attention to the UFO UEP subject, because it's happened in the United States, it's happened in Germany, in UK, in Argentina, for example, and in Uruguay. We have groups, official groups from military that investigate the UFO phenomenon in Argentina and Uruguay. But Brazil, we have a lot of problems. We have a social problem, economic problem, political problem here in Brazil. UAP and UFO is not a subject that the Brazilian government will lost his time. So it's still hard here in Brazil to get information from the government.
One thing that stood out to me in that Moment of Contact movie that I did ask James about, but I'd like your opinion on it, is there was apparently an extraterrestrial being captured by the military there, and a police officer who had had physical contact with the being allegedly died from some type of infection. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, he was a military police intelligence. Military police was a Sherez, his name, the last name, surname Sherez, and he was part of the capture of one of the creatures from Virginia. And well, they found at least 4 or 5 creatures. Some say that was 8, 12 creatures saw by people in different places. And the Shiraz was in companion with his friend, his colleague, and they saw one of the creatures just cross in front of their car. It's not a police car; it's like a normal car, a civil car. And they went and Shiraz grabbed the creature without any gloves, any protection, and some days later, he got an infection. Some say that as a weird infection, infection that the doctors didn't know what caused this infection, and he told to his family that, well, I got one of the creatures with my bare hands. So I think that was infected by something, and he got this infection, a general infection in his body, and he died days after that. And here in Brazil is still a mystery, because some say that, oh, he had some kind of disease prior than this event, but well, after this event that he told to his family that he touched, he grabbed the creature, he just died like this. Was not the day before, some days after, a day after, was some days after they got the creature. So there's no investigation about that. Just he got something under his arm, and days later he died. Was some kind of infection. He was buried in a metal coffin, and that's it. Nobody told anything else. There's no more rumors or information, and his family was left in the dark because they had no information. Well, he died because of an infection, but he was healthy. He was a military police, a secret intelligence military police. He got a good health, but he died miserably. He died. So far, we don't have any information about that, and we're looking for it, more information. James and Marcos Leal, they spoke with the doctor that treated him, the Shiraz, and 2 doctors. One said, well, it was very strange, I never saw something like that, and the other one said, well, it's an infection. It's strange, but it's an infection. Could happen. So there's two opinions, but there's information that we don't have to. We need information to close the case. This case that is part of the whole contest of the Virginia incident.
Do you find it weird that the US government was involved in some of these investigations and they didn't take the body to try and figure out more how this person could have potentially passed away since he was in contact with a being?
No. They just he got treatment at the hospital, and then when he died, he went to the coroner to do the things when you bury a person. There's no investigation. There's no medical investigation to try to discover why they died. In his obituary was general infection, period. Nothing more, nothing less. So this is strange. It was something in common. Why they didn't do the autopsy to figure it out? They didn't do that. Just bury him, put in a paper, his obituary, medical protocol, general infection. That's it.
So no autopsy, they just declared it an infection.
I'm sorry?
Interesting. So they didn't
Oh,
conduct any
no,
autopsy?
no, no,
Okay,
no,
very
no.
interesting. Now, you appeared in the Investigation Alien Netflix show that was very popular, and the Brazil episode, I would say, is one of the top 2 episodes, of that series of I think there was 6 altogether. How was your experience on that show?
Oh, it was amazing. Meet George Knapp, an icon of UFO research and journalism. Was amazing. We shoot 5 days in Paralysis State in January of 2024, and we spoke with a lot of people. We were there to trying to get some information regarding what happened in Colares in 1977, trying to get information from the militaries that was working in Colares, but we didn't get it. Uh, and we are while we are shooting and the people, the production was setting the the things to film. Uh, George and I, we just walk in the city and start to talk with people, asking them if, well, were you here in 77? You saw something? What can you tell us? And we got some great information that the phenomenon, like not like the chupa chupa, not like the attacks. The phenomenon is still happening in Colares, in Barcarena, uh, and in Belém. So people are still seeing lights in the sky, and not just lights. People see aircraft coming out from the water, from the rivers. The Brazilian rivers, the Amazon rivers are huge. It's like an ocean. You cannot see the other side of the shore of the coast. You cannot see it because they are large, very large, and people are still uh, telling us that, well, we saw an aircraft just get out, getting out of the water or getting in, diving in the water, and we cannot explain it. And and the same thing happened in 1977, but in 1977 we had the attacks, these UFOs, UAPs, extraterrestrial vehicles, aerial vehicles. They were shooting laser beams in people in Pará State. So we went there. We shot some scenes from there. We spoke with people that were got hit, like Mrs. Aurora. She is the lady in the iconic photo that she got 3 points marks and in up at his breath, and she told us, "Well, I'm not angry of what happened to me. I'm just wonder why me, because my sister was by my side. So what that thing hit me, not her. But she's not angry. So it's an amazing experience to go back to Colares and see that stuff are still happening there, and got the opportunity to speak with people that was were victim of those attacks, and they are still alive to tell us what happened.
Apparently, since I last talked to you, I saw a thing where Jacques Vallée discussed supposedly there was some type of military US black operation in Brazil at some point in time. Do you think by any chance that this Colares incident could have been some type of secret operation by the US military, or is this something totally different that Valet could be talking about? Because he hasn't actually released the papers that he says he has seen. He's just said that they exist, that some type of secret program happened there.
It's impossible. It's impossible. It's not impossible that the U.S. Were there investigating the phenomenon while they were happening. It's not impossible. It's impossible that was part of any kind of U.S. black operation. It's impossible because, well, where are the UFOs or something that flies and goes underwater with no problem at all? People saw several types of vehicles, aero vehicles like a cylinder, tic tac, disc shape, spheres. People saw it. Military saw it. Brazilian military saw it. We have photos. We have footage. 16 hours of film still missing. But this film shows very clear UFOs. How I know that? Because we spoke with military that told us that yes, we filmed it more than 16 hours, and you could see clear a disc shape or a ball or a cylinder in the sky. So if it was a black operation from the United States, Russia, Japan, China, where are these vehicles now? We are in 2025, and we still don't have this type of vehicles, a type of vehicle that can fly a very high speed, stop, make movements, a 9 degrees angle curve, dive in the water, come out of the water again and fly to the space. Where are these vehicles? Because if the United States in 77 had these vehicles, the war in the Gulf War, the Afghanistan war, you could end this war in a couple of hours. That's it. So that's a technology that we had in 1977, almost 40 years ago, and we still don't have now. So how could it be a black operation? And it's possible that agents from some FBI, CIA, NSA, or military, it's possible, and they would think they were there investigating together with the Brazilian militaries or investigating by their own. But this whole case, and I spoke with Jacques Vallée about it, and said, Dr. Vallée, I'm a big fan, but what you're telling, these documents prove nothing. Prove that the United States knew about the phenomena that will happen in Paralysis state, but it was not their operation. So for me, it's impossible.
Did he tell you any more details personally when you were talking to him that you could share with us about this document?
No, it was was a very fast conversation because I was interviewing him and Paola Harris to my channel. It was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and since then I never spoke to him, just email him. But I don't think that he changed his mind. I never changed my mind because I spoke with military that was there. I was there. I investigated the case. So and Bob Pratt did the same, and many Brazilian ufologists did the same. So it was not a black operation of the United States.
And I'll just put up a screenshot from the Netflix documentary. This is the water of what it supposedly may have looked like. I guess that was their rendition of Colares at one point when all the UFOs were coming out at once. Do you think that's a pretty accurate rendition of what it may have looked like?
Yeah, this island, it is in Colares, and this island, there's a lighthouse, a small lighthouse, and the military they they uh, they built a headquarters there to investigate what's going on, because many reports people say, well, the UFOs come from the jungle and go to the water, or come from the water and go to the jungle. And that island was a perfect spot, so they can set their equipments there with sound equipments or radar equipments and binoculars to try to understand where these UFOs come from, and to where they go. And they got a lot of photos from there, and the military saw the UFOs just crossing over their heads, but they could not explain that. And they saw UFOs diving and coming out of the water. And many people in the Colares is an island, and many people in a beach of Colares, the Humaitá Beach, was the hot spot of the whole phenomenon, Humaitá Beach. And the people was there, man was there with fireworks and shotguns and something, cans to create noise, to put away these UFOs, because they didn't know what to do, because the things just appeared from nowhere and were shooting rays to people, laser beam to the people in the ground. So they were very afraid. And this island was the best spot to watch what's going on, to try to see where the UFOs come from and where do they go. So this island was on a headquarters of the Brazilian militaries in Colares.
Interesting. And one thing they discussed a little bit in the Investigation Alien Brazil episode was the smell associated with the beings, and I guess even the crop circles sometimes after they make them. What are the different types of smells that are associated with this non-human intelligence?
Well, the girls from that saw the entity, the alien in Virginia, the mother of the girls, when they came, when she went to the place where the girls saw the alien, she smells something like sulfur. And many people in Colares, when they saw the UFOs and they were hit by the laser beam, they smell something like sulfur as well. So I cannot say that all the UFO sightings or entities, aliens, have this kind of smell, but the sulfur is something that in ufology, in many cases, the people that saw an alien or the UFO, they smell this smell of sulfur, and I don't know if there some relation with that.
Have you also heard, like, I've heard some people say they smell like rotten leaves, like tree leaves that have been rotting for a while.
It's like acid, something like that.
Hmm. Lisa says, have you heard of Antonio Villa Boa case? That's a famous Brazilian case, I believe.
Yeah, Antonio Vilas Boas. For the most part of the people, they think that the first abduction was back in Barney Hill in '67, I think. But Antonio Vilas Boas was abducted in 1957, in Brazil, in Minas Gerais state. He was an agriculture. He was working in his farm during the night because during the day it was very hot, and he saw a UFO with a triangle, very weird triangle, land in front of him, in front of his tractor that just died. His tractor just died, didn't work, and from that UFO came three entities wearing like a green brownish suit, cover all his body, their body, with a helmet and glasses and some kind of tubes to breathe. And they take Vilas Boas aboard the ship, and they put him in a room. They wash him with a sponge and took some sample of his blood from his chin and left in a room with a bed. And some time later, a woman, like a woman, came and Vilas Boas was afraid, of course, but at the same time, he felt attracted by that woman, and they had sex. And after that, the entities just put him back to the ground, left him on the ground, and the UFO just left. And Vilas Boas said, "Well, maybe I have a star child."
Okay, yeah, Star Child. That's funny. The other thing I wanted to know was, in your research, have you encountered any UFO cases that collaborate with environmental changes, such as electromagnetic disturbances or anomalies in wildlife behavior? Like, has wildlife changed in areas after there have been some type of contact?
In almost all the cases that I investigate, I had this effect in people that saw it. Some got disease, some dizzy, uh, and nausea, and we have also traces of evidences that something that landed and burned the grass or mark the grass with like a huge pressure, like more than 1 ton. I have research cases where the dog start to barking from to something, and the owner of the dog just went out of the house. This case happened in 2003 here in Brazil, in Samambaia. It's a city near Brasilia. And Mr. Francisco, his dog was barking a lot, middle of the night, and he wake up and go to check if it was a thief in his house, and he saw his dog barking, and he saw a light very far, and the dog was like barking to that light, but it was very very far, and like this. this light just came like 40 meters of him. It was a big egg-shaped uh, uh, vehicle, UFO, something like that. And he crouched it, and his dog just frozen, frozen with open eyes and open mouth, and just froze it. And Mr. Francisco just crouched and start to pray. He didn't remember how long he prayed. Uh, and when he opened his eye, the UFO just had left, but his dog was still frozen. Just after 5 or 6 minutes, the dog started to recover his conscience, and in 10 days, the dog died with no with, with no explanation, just died. And Mr. Francisco didn't uh, get the dog to the vet, just bury him in a backyard. So it was very weird when he told me, and I saw the grave of the dog. And it's amazing because he believed that that UFO, that egg-shaped UFO, could kill him too, but nothing happened to him, just to the dog. I don't know if the dog died because of fear or something like that. But the point is, the dog died after barking to a UFO, and after it got frozen, and a week later, he was dead.
And there seems to be a lot of credible cases that they can prevent living beings from moving. You hear this from credible humans too, saying like they've temporarily lose function of their legs if they encounter stuff here and there. Have you heard that too? That like they have the ability to kind of make you paralyzed in a way temporarily?
That's one of the facts. I heard a lot of the facts of people that could not move, just like paralyzed by the lights or by the entity or by the UFO. It's normal in ufology. That it's not something rare, and we still don't know why they do that. How can they do that? Because we have in the abduction phenomena, many people said, well, I was laying down in my bed, and I felt that strange feeling that something or someone were watching me. And I tried to get up, or I'll scream or move, and I couldn't. Well, in 99%, this called sleep paralysis. So it's an explanation, but still have 1% that we cannot explain, because people say, well, I was there and I saw little gray men. They took me to a room, they took me to a place, they took me on board of a UFO. And these cases we cannot explain. And people get frozen as well, paralyzed, cannot move, cannot talk, just laid in a bed or lay in like a hospital, something like that, and they cannot move. So it is one of the aspects of the ufology.
Interesting. With all the cultural history of these sky beings in Brazil from like the ancient days, do you think that some of these ancient explanations of weird stuff going on in Brazilian culture has a connection to modern ufology?
Oh, I do think. Well, when we talk about folklore is created by folklore is created to explain something that that person or that community, that society cannot understand. So they create a folklore, a legend, something like that. In Brazil, we have a lot of it. We have one of the legends of Brazil, one of the folklore of Brazil is called Mãe Douro, Gold Mother. What is a gold mother? It's a ball of light, gold, that came out from the water of the rivers and shoot laser beam in people, Indian native people in a jungle. Well, it's very similar to what happened in 1977. It's in the folklore of Brazil. We have also the Curupira. Curupira is an entity, a small one entity, with hairy, very hairy legs and arms, with head hair, long head hair, in a jungle that capture people and bring and take them to his cave, a cave that can fly. So you can see that ufology in culture and folklore in many societies is a real thing, because something happened. People don't just think, oh, I'm going to create something folklore, a legend, something like that. No, they saw something and they try to explain. If they cannot explain, they're going to put something supernatural to explain that. Angels, saints, folklore creatures, mystical creatures. Is a form, is a way to explain what they can, what they cannot explain, to understand it.
That makes total sense. And with all the increasing AI and satellite surveillance worldwide right now, do you think technology will soon provide undeniable proof of UFOs, or are they always going to remain elusive from a 100% this is real perspective?
No, I think that the technology, the satellites and the cameras and security cameras, they help us. But it's my theory. These aliens, in my opinion, they are from another planet, another solar system, or the system or another galaxy. I don't know, but they are from another planet, and they are here since a long time ago. Okay, and they don't want to be discovered. They don't want to get in touch now. In the past, perhaps, and probably this interaction was not good, or this interaction in the past was okay to their purpose, but now they don't want to do that. So like cars, we have cars, we have, if you pick a car back in the 80s and a car in 2025, that technology is far very different from the 20 cars in the 2025. I think the UFOs are the same. They now have the technology to get invisible to our eyes, radars, some types of radars, cameras. They have some technology that don't let us to film them or take a great picture, because they don't want to show themselves. If you take pictures of the UFOs from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they are clear. Many photos, perfect photos of a disc-shaped object. But now We are using an iPhone 16, yeah, Samsung, and many great uh, cameras. We cannot take a perfect photo. Why? Because they have a technology that block it. This attempt to take a picture of them. So in my opinion, is that they are here, but they don't want contact right now, and I don't know if we deserve it.
Some researchers believe that there's psychological and interdimensional aspects of UAPs. Do you think, and this kind of goes with what you were just saying, should we broaden our thoughts and approach to what they could be beyond just the physical UAPs themselves?
Once we don't have an answer, I think that all the theories are valid. We can use all the theories. My theory is that they come from another planet. Some people said that we can communicate telepathic with them. Okay, it's not my my research. My research is collect data, collect evidence, uh, testimonies, uh, analyze videos and photos. A field research. That's my way to investigate. But many people claim that they have this kind of gift to interact with the aliens through mind or dreams or other type of communication. It's impossible. It's not, because we don't know the truth. And maybe all these theories are true, all of them. Well, maybe they're from another planet, maybe they're from a universe, uh, parallel universe, from another dimension, from under the sea, living in the caves. We don't know. So uh, I never say that. Well, my theory is the right one. There's no right one.
Yeah, and the issue I have, because guys like Stephen Greer that say they can summon UFOs, I mean they have put out some interesting information in the past, but if you can summon them so easily, why isn't there better proof? Because I haven't seen really any concrete proof other than him saying, "Oh, the proof is coming," but I never actually see it.
Yeah, Steve was the pioneer, in my opinion, in the disclosure process. I remember him uh, years ago when he did as hearing in the press club in Washington, if I'm not wrong, and he was the first one to start it. And now we have Louis Elizondo, have Jamie Foxx, have Ross Coulthard, we have Jeremy, uh, and George Knapp. They're doing what Steve did years ago. And now, in my opinion, we are close to a disclosure, but not a full disclosure. This never gonna happen. They gonna they gonna disclosure uh, what they want, and we will never know if it was a total disclosure. I don't know
Right.
either. I think they're gonna say, well, okay, this is a UFO. We don't know where they come from, but do you think if you think that they're gonna make disclosure back to the 40s, the 30s, the 50s, forget it. Forget it.
Someone wants to know about the mummies from Peru. Do you believe they were real?
Oh, Hannibal Sansa, a very good friend of mine. And I spoke with him sometimes about this mummies from Peru, Nazca, and I asked him, "But Jaime, do you really think that they are from another planet? They are aliens?" And he told me, "Thiago, I don't know what they things are, but I don't know what they don't are. They are not a mix of parts of creatures. They are not arm of an ape, a head of I don't know, a horse. They're not that. This creature is a real creature, one creature. But so far, as I know so far, uh, the scientists didn't got any conclusion about that. In my opinion, uh, I don't know, famous laboratory or a university should take these mummies and make tests and say, "Well, no, this is a small Indian that died with some problems in their body. That's it. That's it." But instead of that, they keep doing, it's nothing. Well, not losing my time with that. Why not? It's a science. It's not science. The scientist have to, has to try to discover. It's a science. Science is that. See something that you can not understand and try to understand it. So for me, the mummies that Jaime show us is at least weird, very weird.
What could you tell us about Operation Saucer, the secret investigation program into Brazilian sightings over the Amazon by the military?
Yeah, the Operation Plate, the Operação Prato, was the operation that was created to investigate the chupa-chupa phenomenon, that thing that happened in 97.7 in Brazil, in Pará state and Maranhão state. People from many cities in these two states were leaving the towns because they were being attacked by lights, by crafts with a laser beam. And they didn't know what it was. And well, if it's something in the sky is attacking you, who's gonna call? Not Ghostbusters. You're gonna call the Air Force. So the mayors of many of the cities ask to the commander of the Air Force in that region to do something, and they send the Air Force send a team to investigate, to get witnesses, to get testimony from this witness, to try to get photos and videos to discover what was going on. And they were very skeptical, but when they arrive, they start to see those things, and they became a believer. Not just a believer, they became a witness of what was happening. And this operation, call it Operation Plate, started in September of 77 and was abruptly closed in November, December of the same year with no explanation. William Holanda was the captain. William Holanda was the leader of this operation. And he told to A.J. Jevard and Marco Trapetti, the two ufologists, that he spoke with him, and he told everything. He told them, I don't know, we are that close to get some contact with this entity, with these UFOs. And the brigadier, Protásio, said, what we need to know, we know already. So this operation is closed. And that's it. No more operation, no more information. And from that point, we knew that something else was happening. and that's why they are rumors that the United States sent some agents from intelligence here to investigate what was happened in Colares.
And last question, as far as your own personal experiences or revelations, you've been studying this for so many decades. Has anything happened over this time that made you change what you think of this whole phenomenon? Or has everything kind of been just reinforcing what you thought it was all along over the years of all the new information coming out and so forth?
Now, reinforcing, because I'm studying UFO since I was 20, so 30 years ago. I've been studying the UFO phenomena. And always that you go deeper in a subject and you get contact with militaries, of witnesses, of testimonies, you see that, well, something is happening here. And you get more information. So there's no way you just drop it. Oh, I don't want to do it anymore, because I still have answers. I do want to know what happened there. I want to know what's going on. Are they from another planet? It's all fantasy. They are from another solar system, another universe. So in these 30 years, I saw so many things that if I tell you, was nothing fun, everything was nonsense, I would be lying to you. Because what I saw uh, with people that I'm talking to in the military, civilians, many people, there's something in the sky, in the space, that are here in our planet, visiting us and doing something that we don't know. So I still have, let's say, more 4 years to go.
And you have a lot of books, and I'll just share the Amazon screen now. Quite a collection of books that you've written, English and Spanish. Is it that you guys speak over in Brazil?
Now, in Brazil, we speak Portuguese,
It's
and I have,
Portuguese.
yes, I have one book in English, UFO Contacts in Brazil, the last one, in the bottom, at the bottom. Yeah, it's in English. This book was translated to French, so people can read in French as well. And I just finished my second book in English. Is about Colares, with a lot of information about Colares that I cannot tell you now, but I will tell you later, no problem, in another opportunity. And it's going to be my second book in English. I'm trying to get some editor to publish. I'm in conversation with some editors to publish it, and I'm going to bring a lot of information about the Operation Plate, the Chupa Chupa phenomena, the Colares, from the past to nowadays. It's going to be a huge book. It's almost 400 pages.
Very good. That's exciting. Is there going to be an audio version of that book as well?
Shit. I'm trying to. It's not easy because my English is not perfect. I need someone to speak in English very well to do the audiobook.
Get
But
George
maybe,
Knapp to
who
do
knows?
it. George Knapp to do it. You're friends with him
George Knapp
now.
gonna be amazing. Or
The
George Knapp
one
or
thing
Jeremy
interesting,
Corbell.
whenever I listen to alien audiobooks at night, for some reason they help me fall asleep, but I have horrible nightmares that often involve that sleep paralysis that you're talking about, and they involve aliens. So, in one way, it's good, but in another way, like sometimes it can be quite frightening.
I
Some of these
understand. I
nightmares.
understand.
Well, I really appreciate you joining us. I've put your website up a couple of times, but there it is again for anyone who wants to check it out. And you can search up his Thiago's Amazon page, and I'll let you close this off with whatever you want to say. I hope we see you on another season of Investigation Alien soon.
I hope so as well. I hope so as well. What's very fun and amazing. Thank you, Devon, for this opportunity again to show a little more about my research, a little more about the ufology in Brazil. We have a huge country with thousands of cases that we need to show you out of Brazil. And this opportunity for me is very important to do that, because I'm not, I don't have that ego that I just want to keep the information for me. No, I want to share all the information that I have. I want to share with a lot of people, as many as I can. So once again, thank you very much for this opportunity.